Is this on your bucket list to see the Northern Lights Aurora Borealis? You have very good chances of seeing it if you travel to Alaska during the Aurora season, which is between end of August until mid-April. Although pretty good chances if you go around the spring and fall equinox, but any time in the winter in that season is good. You have no chances really of seeing it in the summer because there's just way too much daylight. I'm going to talk about why you go to Alaska and where in Alaska you should go to try to see the Northern Lights. And if you're going to travel that far, what else can you do besides just chasing the Northern Lights, since that is a nighttime activity? So for the science part of this, the Northern Lights Aurora Borealis are charged particles from the sun that are slamming into the Earth's atmosphere. They hit gases like oxygen and nitrogen and then create these colors. We get mostly greens, but sometimes purples, reds, and Fairbanks, Alaska specifically is right underneath the Aurora Oval, where there is prime aurora territory. Closer to the poles is where you have good activity. It's a drier climate, being in the interior of Alaska, not near any of the oceans of Alaska. Because people come up here, there are a lot of tourist amenities in the winter, and this is a year-round city. So you can find plenty of restaurants, museums, and other things that are open in the winter that other places of Alaska are just closed for the winter because it's a summer destination in a lot of places. And this is a nighttime activity. I was here over a couple of weeks in March, and we weren't even leaving the hotel until 10 p.m. because it was just getting dark at that time when you're this far north. And then sometimes the lights weren't really active until 1 a.m. or even 2 a.m. So you're looking at late nights when you're chasing the aurora. You do need to get out of city lights to have better chances of seeing the aurora and better photos. I actually did manage to get a couple of these pictures from Pike's Waterfront Lodge, right along the Chena River that the hotel is alongside of. But we also went to this facility called Aurora Point. And you can go inside and warm up, and they give you presentations about the aurora, and then afterwards they'll let you know if there's activity, and everybody rushes outside trying to get that picture or time lapse. It's very difficult to get the video, and you don't see the green with your naked eye. You see this bright gray. It looks different than regular clouds, and it can get in the negative. So you definitely want to have warm clothing and lots of layers, and have someplace warm that you can go inside so that you don't freeze. Even if you've got warm shoes on, you may want to have the feet warmers inside of your boots because it can get cold standing on the ice and snow. But if you're coming all this way in the winter or the spring, then there are so many other things you can do, and I will show you the other things I did as part of a guided tour in Alaska, so you don't have to worry about any of the logistics. And we saw the Northern Lights and so much more. I will put a link to this exact tour in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. But as you can see, we are flying into Anchorage, Alaska, not Fairbanks, Alaska, for the start of this tour. We get to see a little bit of Anchorage, and we even got to see Mount Denali. And now we are heading towards Whittier on the Seward Highway. You may see different weather patterns because it's not always going to be this clear and blue. And I even have some video where it was a much grayer day with snow. It creates a different atmosphere, but I think it's beautiful either way. Now we're heading through the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel on our way to Whittier for a half-day Glacier cruise, and this is in March. The boat is small but sturdy, and they're sitting inside, and you can go outside. On this snowy day, we got lucky, and we saw a bald eagle flying. It is pretty cool to be the only boat out here in the winter. Enjoy the footage of the glaciers from our winter cruise, and I will catch up with you after we're leaving Whittier. These sea otters are just adorable, and they just hang out around the marina. Now we've left Whittier, we're already through the tunnel on our way back to Anchorage for a group dinner before we start out our morning at the Musk Ox Farm in Palmer. These animals have a lot of personality, and they are not farmed for meat, they are farmed for their kiviute, the fiber that keeps them warm, and it doesn't harm them, it gets hand combed off of them. These are an Arctic animal, and they like temperatures that are negative 40 degrees. After our private tour at the farm, we're headed north towards Talkeetna, but with a little detour at the Iditarod Headquarters in Wasilla. We even had a chance encounter with Ryan Reddington, Iditarod winner of the 2023 and grandson of Iditarod founder. We made our way to the quirky small town of Talkeetna, which does still have some things open in the winter, but not as much as if you were here in the summer. A must visit is Nagley's General Store and try to get a photo op with Aurora, the mayor cat of Talkeetna. We saw views of Denali from the river in Talkeetna, and then we headed to Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. From the lodge, if Mount Denali is out, you do get clear views. And then at night, there's this amazing alpine glow. We did not get lucky with seeing the Aurora Borealis from Talkeetna, but it is possible, and because there's very limited light pollution here, you would have good chances of seeing it if it's active from Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. When we left Talkeetna, we boarded the Aurora winter train on our way to Fairbanks, which is a scenic train, but it does take multiple hours. I'm not going to talk this whole time. I'll let you just enjoy the scenery, but if you want to just skip ahead to the next chapter, you can do that. We did have a couple of moose sightings, and just note that those big window dome rail cars are not used in the winter. It is too hard to keep the temperature regulated, so it's all adventure class on the Alaska Railroad. On the train, you pass right through Nenana, which has the Nenana Ice Classic, that tripod on the water that you can put in a vote for of the date, the hour, and the minute that the ice is going to break up and that tripod will fall in the water. We saw Dall sheep right from the train, and these are famous in Denali National Park, and the reason why the park was formed. Now we're seeing University of Alaska Fairbanks in the distance, meaning we're almost to the train station. Once we made it to Fairbanks, we had some time to go downtown, see the moose antler arches. We went to the Fountainhead Auto Museum, which is great for autos and fashion. A little bit hidden just by the entrance is this old sleigh. And then we went less than half an hour drive to North Pole, Alaska. That's the name of this town, and they have Santa Claus House, which has Santa and a toy factory in here. You can also set up a custom card to be mailed from the North Pole. In Fairbanks, we went to the World Ice Art Championships, and these ice carvings are unreal with their detail. If you want to see the ice carvings, come around mid-February through the end of March. I also recommend getting there in the afternoon when it's a little bit light out for some of the games, but then stay long enough for it to get dark so you can see the ice sculptures lit up. Just a short drive outside of downtown Fairbanks is the oil pipeline, and then we had to do some dog sledding. We went to Trailbreaker Kennel, which was fabulous, but I will also include some other tour options in the video description for just the dog sledding. On our last day of the tour, we went to Museum of the North, which is at the University of Alaska Fairbanks campus and has some great natural history and Native Alaskan cultural history exhibits. This particular tour is a small group, max of 24 people, or I can help you plan your own custom trip. Set up a call with me.